right, so now that I have my marginal ridge, the next thing I'm going to do before I start the occlusal table, or maybe part of this occlusal table, is I'm going to finish up some of the cone that was like already created for me on this distal buckle, just so I have a little bit more of that cusp. And again, I'm going to take it about to the line that I created here, because this is going to be my buckle groove. And again, we line that up with the mesial buckle cusp. So if this is going to be my buckle groove here, I want to take my distal buckle cusp to that buckle groove. And then I would do the same thing with the mesial buckle cusp. With the mesial buckle cusp that I did, but now I want to do my distal lingual as well. And in order to identify where I want my lingual groove, that can be a little bit more challenging. If we look at the contralateral, you can see that that lingual groove is just slightly offset distally compared to the buckle groove. So as a rough estimate right now, I'm going to give myself, just to kind of keep that zigzag pattern, I'm going to give myself this kind of outline for my lingual groove. The next thing I'm going to want to do is swap out the tip, because as I'm working on this occlusal surface, making my triangular ridges and kind of bringing things together, using this really small angled tip is going to be the most useful for this part of it. That way I can make very small incremental changes and make my triangular ridges appropriately as well. And you can see for my distal buckle and distal lingual cusp, some of that triangular ridge is already there. So all I'm going to do is add to that triangular ridge. I think with this half tooth wax up, that's the easiest place to start, is to start with something that's partially formed already. When it comes to the full contour wax up, I usually start with the mesial buckle and mesial lingual, because that's the largest of the cusp, and it's going to give me a really good outline for where I want my triangular ridges on my distal buckle, distal lingual, and distal cusp. Remember, we don't want any transverse ridges on this tooth, so again, I'm just going to create a triangular ridge here. And again, I established this is my contact on that mesial buckle. I don't want to extend this wax up too much more occlusally than that. And I also want that contact to be inside the occlusal table. So I'm over bulking this buckle by a significant amount right now. I'm gonna have to carve that back just a little bit when I get to the contouring step of the buckle cusp. But at this point, I wasn't quite ready to add to the internal portion yet, so I wanted to make sure that I had enough wax and that I'm, again, maintaining the location of the buckle groove as well. So now I'm going to create that mesial buckle triangular ridge. So I'm going to pause the video now and kind of clean up some of these ridges that I've put in, just so I can now add my mesial lingual and then start adding some of the anatomy to the, a little bit more of the anatomy to the tube.